Okay, so here, guys, I've got one of my Pearl Island boas in my hands right now. This is a 2018 female. So this girl is about 3 years old. They're a dwarf species of island boa. The Pearl Islands are off the coast of Panama. And they're different from a lot of other boas. They like to move around quite a bit. These are what I would call my most nervous boas, but as you can see, I'm calmly and confidently handling this girl here with no issues. But, you know, they are probably my rarest locality of boa. There's probably only maybe half a dozen people at the most in the US that are currently working with them, maybe 3 or 4 people that are breeding them regularly. And I have 8 of them. I have 6 that are the age of this female. And then I have 2 adults that I just paired up for breeding. And I put them together and hoping to get babies sometime maybe in the spring. So just wanted to update you guys on some of the other boas that I have. Again, these are the Pearl Island boas. Again, they like to move around quite a bit. They're not as calm as a lot of my other boas, but not in any way aggressive in any way, shape, or form. Just, you know, these snakes, they've only been bred in captivity over maybe just a couple of generations. So these are, I believe these are F2s. So both mom and dad were born in captivity. These might be F3s, so maybe 3rd generation removed from the wild, compared to 5 or 6 generations, perhaps even more with a lot of my other localities. So these still have a little bit of that wild instinct still, I think. They definitely like to climb. They're much more arboreal than any of my other snakes. Even though I do provide climbing opportunities for all my snakes, these Pearl Island boas tend to relish it. Other unique thing about these boas, they're seasonal feeders. So in the wild, they feed primarily on migratory birds. So in the wild, they'll go 3 or 4 months without eating, and I mimic that with their captive care. So these guys just got their last meal for the next 2.5 months. And the strange thing is, they won't lose any weight. They'll actually gain length, and they'll turn. This snake doesn't look fat, but I can assure you, if you ran your thumb and forefinger, you could feel fat pads between the skin and the ribs. She will convert all that fat into muscle. All of my boas that I do this to, all of my boas are seasonal feeders. So when they get to be 2 to 3 years of age, I will go through a winter season, usually 2 to 3 months, where they don't eat at all. And surprisingly, again, they don't lose weight. They tend to either gain length and they gain muscle mass during that process, which is pretty interesting. The theory is that actually it helps in their long-term health, because boas are, in their DNA, they are wired to fast, and they need that time for their organs to rest. So they go through a long growing season, and they go through a dry, dormant season. So that's kind of like boa care in a nutshell with some of my guys. But just wanted to show you the Pearl Island boas. Get a close-up of that head. They've got kind of a gray head. And they're what's known as a super hypomelanistic, a natural super hypomelanistic form of boa constrictor. So they don't have a whole lot of dark pigment, and you can see the pattern has completely reduced down to nothing. And these boas have a tendency to change color. They'll get dark and they'll get light. They're very, very pretty snakes, and I enjoy them. So that's it, Pearl Island boas. Good night, y'all.